Before we dive in, let me leave you with a truth that echoes across every chapter in human history. Nothing we are began in silence. Every civilization, every story, every ancestor left a trail of wisdom waiting to be rediscovered. What you are about to hear is a part of a legacy, preserved, decoded, and brought back to the forefront. I'm OG Moni. Welcome to AI Legacy Lab.
Long before the rise of Mali and Songhai, and centuries before the caravans of the Sahara carried gold to the lavish courts of Europe and Asia, a powerful kingdom stood tall in West Africa. This was the Ghana Empire, a realm built on immense wealth, sophisticated organization, and the enduring strength of the Soninke people. They forged one of the earliest great civilizations in the region, leaving a legacy that would echo for generations. The empire rose in a strategic location, right where the vast Sahara Desert meets the fertile savanna. In this critical zone, control over trade routes meant control over power itself. Merchants trekking across the unforgiving desert desperately needed safe passage, water, and protection from bandits. The Ghana Empire provided all three, and in doing so, it established a system that turned the kingdom into the beating heart of trans-Saharan commerce. This wasn't just a kingdom. It was the essential link connecting North Africa to the riches of the South. At the top of this structured society were the kings of Ghana, known by the title Kaya Magha. They ruled with absolute authority, but they weren't alone. Their power was supported by a network of nobles, fierce warriors, influential merchants, and respected spiritual leaders. Together, this ruling class maintained order, structured society, and guided their people through both times of peace and periods of challenge. This complex social and political system was the engine that drove the empire's success. The Ghana Empire grew incredibly wealthy from three key resources: gold, iron, and salt. Its genius was its geographic position, acting as the middleman between the northern merchants who craved gold and the southern regions, like Bambouk and Bur, which were rich with it. The kings of Ghana didn't just facilitate trade, they controlled it. They levied taxes on every good that entered or left their territory. Every donkey load of salt coming in from the north was taxed, and every shipment of gold heading out was taxed again. This brilliant system of tariffs filled the royal coffers and funded the empire's growth, its army, and its administration. The gold of Ghana became the stuff of legend. It was so pure and so plentiful that foreign travelers, like the Arab geographer al-Bakri, wrote about it in awe. He described markets overflowing with gold dust, nuggets the size of a man's fist, and intricate ornaments crafted by highly skilled Soninke artisans. These craftsmen understood both the beauty and the immense value of their resources. The king himself was said to reserve all the large gold nuggets for the crown, leaving the gold dust for public trade. This ensured the monarchy's wealth while also keeping the precious metal in circulation, a sign of a truly advanced economic understanding. Now, it's important to clarify a common point of confusion. The ancient Ghana Empire is not located in the same place as the modern nation of Ghana. The historic empire was situated hundreds of miles to the northwest, in what is now southeastern Mauritania and western Mali. It thrived for centuries as a major center of culture, language, and a distinct Soninke identity, long before other famous West African empires even began to emerge. The name was later adopted by the modern country to honor this powerful ancestral state. So, how did the kings of Ghana maintain their power for so long? They relied on a combination of a strong, disciplined army and shrewd diplomacy. The military wasn't just for conquest. Its primary role was to protect the vital trade routes from raiders who constantly sought to disrupt the flow of wealth. By ensuring the safety of merchants, the empire guaranteed its own prosperity. At the same time, the rulers built strategic alliances with neighboring groups, using treaties and political maneuvering to expand their influence and secure their borders. The capital city, believed to be Kumbi Saleh, was described by travelers as a remarkable metropolis. It was said to be divided into two distinct sections, reflecting the dual nature of the empire itself. One part was the royal city, a walled-off area where the king and his court lived. This was the center of political authority, filled with palaces, sacred groves for traditional rituals, and immense displays of wealth and ceremony. The other section was the commercial town, a bustling, open city where foreign traders, scholars, and travelers from across the Sahara lived and worked. This was a cosmopolitan hub where goods, stories, and new ideas from distant worlds converged. The Ghana Empire also became a fascinating melting pot of beliefs. As Muslim merchants from North Africa settled in the commercial centers, they brought their religion, Islam, along with advancements in scholarship, mathematics, and record-keeping. However, the Soninke people and their rulers largely maintained their traditional ancestral beliefs. This created a unique, blended cultural environment. The king would employ Muslim advisors and scribes for their administrative skills, while simultaneously presiding over traditional spiritual ceremonies. This tolerance and synthesis of different cultures became a hallmark of future West African states. Like all great empires, Ghana's dominance eventually came to an end. Its decline was a slow process, not a single catastrophic event. Several factors contributed to its weakening. The lucrative trade routes began to shift eastward, bypassing Ghana's control. Prolonged droughts and climate change put pressure on agriculture and resources, leading to instability. Internal conflicts and succession disputes weakened the central authority of the king. And finally, the rising power of new ambitious kingdoms in the region, particularly the Soso and later the Mali Empire, began to challenge Ghana's supremacy. Yet the legacy of the Ghana Empire never truly faded. It lived on through the societies that succeeded it. The foundations it laid in trade, administration, and wealth management were inherited and built upon by the Mali and Songhai empires. The systems of taxation, the organized military, and the cultural synthesis that characterized Ghana all provided a blueprint for future West African powers. Its story became a source of pride and inspiration for centuries to come. Today, the Ghana Empire stands as a powerful reminder that Africa has always been home to advanced, complex, and wealthy civilizations. These were societies built not by myth or legend, but by real people who mastered economics, leadership, military strategy, and cultural expression. Their achievements demonstrate that the story of Africa is not one of passively waiting for outside influence, but a dynamic history of independent innovation, power, and resilience. The story of the Soninke and their magnificent empire is a crucial chapter in the grand narrative of world history, a legacy carried forward by their descendants who continue to honor the culture that helped shape West Africa. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this journey into the Ghana Empire fascinating, please hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into history, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video.
Another chapter reclaimed, another piece of history placed back where it belongs. If you have found any meaning in this, let it sit with you. Let it sharpen your vision, not just for the past, but for who we are becoming. I'm OG Mooney, and this is AI Legacy Lab. Honoring truth, protecting legacy, one story at a time. Until next time, stay curious.